Episode 67, Center of Attention. When Serena had freshened up, it was 20 minutes later. Since they were going back to the old house, and she was not feeling quite well, Serena chose to wear something casual. Looking young and fresh, Nanny Harper was stunned to see Serena in her outfit, exclaiming, "Everything looks so good on Madam. Don't you think, Mr. Robinson?" Sitting on the sofa, Jake turned his head around after hearing Nanny Harper. He was slightly stunned by Serena's fresh look as well. However, he still looked away, put newspapers on the coffee table, and walked outside. Serena had been used to his attitude, so she spat her tongue at Nanny Harper and said, "Nanny Harper, you could go home if there's nothing else. We won't be back very soon." "Yes, madam." Nanny Harper watched the couple leaving with a smile, and then went upstairs to tidy up Serena's room. As soon as she entered Serena's room, Nanny Harper saw Serena's laptop placed next to her pillow. Shaking her head, Nanny Harper muttered, "It's not good for her health to put the laptop here." When Nanny Harper was about to put Serena's laptop into the drawer of her nightstand, she saw a document lying there. Nanny Harper curiously glanced at it and saw the title, Divorce Contract. When the couple arrived at the old house, it was almost 6 o'clock. Dinner time. Nola was sitting next to a strong man, looking at photo albums together and laughing.
"Mom? Big brother?"
Jake called and looked at Serena. It was the first time in this lifetime for her to meet this brother-in-law, so Serena felt a bit nervous. He looked like Jake, but seemed much gentler. In her last lifetime, Serena had only met him twice at the family dinners. She felt an awe towards this young officer. If Jake was compared to an iceberg, then Alex was definitely a pine tree, making people feel trustworthy. "Mom? Brother?" Serena called.
"This is your wife?"
Alex smiled and said to Jake,
"Good eye. Grandpa chose her for me,"
Jake mentioned and sat down opposite his brother. He meant he could not say no because Grandpa picked her? Alex smiled, not knowing what to say to his brother. Glancing at Serena, Alex waved at her and said,
"Come and sit."
Serena felt a bit awkward, sitting down next to Jake.
"I'm so sorry about last time. Did you blame me for not visiting you at the hospital?"
Serena shook her head. "It wasn't a big deal. It's okay."
"Not a big deal,"
said Captain Henrik with his powerful voice. He sneered and hit Alex with his cane.
"For a random girlfriend of yours, you left your sister-in-law alone. Way to care about your family."
Alex's face twisted as he said in pain,
"Grandpa, Serena is still around. Can't you wait until later? Learn your lesson."
After hitting his grandson, Captain Henrik's mood was clearly elevated. Sitting next to Serena, he said kindly,
"Sunshine, did Jake treat you right?"
"He's great."
"Is that true?"
Captain Henrik glanced at Jake and frowned at his calm face.
"Do you think I don't know my grandson? Is staying at a hotel for more than a month the way to keep up his marriage?"
Neither Nola nor Alex had heard about it, so they were both shocked and looked at Jake. However, Jake did not seem to notice that he had become the center of attention. Taking a cup of tea, he slowly took a sip.
"You lived in a hotel for more than a month? Are you two fighting?"
Nola and Alex spoke at the same time. The former looked knowingly, while the latter looked a bit relieved. Serena glanced at Nola and did not know whether it was her illusion to see relief in her mother-in-law's eyes. Serena's heart sank. Nola was probably still thinking about getting Lila to be her daughter-in-law.
"Jake, you're back,"
said a soft voice outside the door. The Cox couple walked inside together with Lila and Julia, grinning. Seeing Jake, Lila was pleasantly surprised. However, her enthusiasm was only greeted with silence from Jake. Lila felt a bit embarrassed. Lila's father, Michael Cox, immediately came to her rescue by saying,
"Alex, you're finally back. How long will you stay this time?"
When Michael was young, he was in the military as well. After he came back from the military, he started his own business, which was why he had great expectation for Alex since he was a kid. Since the two families were neighbors, Michael basically treated Alex like his own son. If it was not because Lila liked Jake, Serena doubted that Michael would marry his daughter to Alex.
"Just 3 days, a small break." "That's not bad. When I was young, we only got to have 1-day breaks, so I couldn't even come home."
Michael was more than 50 years old, a few years older than Jake's father. Michael then looked at Serena and said,
"This is Jake's wife?"
"Nice to meet you, Uncle Michael." Michael quickly smiled and said,
"Very well."
However, he did not even say anything to Serena before he looked to Captain Henrik.
"Let's go. Our two families haven't gone out in a while."
Hearing the proposal, Jake frowned and asked his grandpa and mother,
"Where are we going?"
Alex also looked confused. Nola explained,
"Michael had asked us to have dinner together a few days ago. Unfortunately, your dad is out of town these days, so we are still missing one person."
"You guys go. I'm too old to get used to the food from a restaurant,"
Captain Henrik said. Serena had learned from their chatting that Lila had made the reservation today, and felt a bit ominous. It turned out that when they just sat down at the dinner table, Lila handed Serena the menu and asked her to order. Serena glanced at the menu and found it was in German. Why was Lila trying to embarrass her?